And now the news for the East Midlands. I'm Emily Anderson. Good afternoon. First this lunchtime, flooding has affected large parts of Derbyshire overnight. There are more than 22 flood warnings in place. The County Council has declared it to be a major incident. A number of homes in Bakewell were affected. Simon Hare reports. Well, next, a domestic abuse charity says lockdowns prompted a surge in calls for help. Juno Women's Aid helps thousands of victims in Nottinghamshire every year. Today, frontline services across the county have called for more support from the government. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball's in the newsroom. Jeremy, why has the impact been so huge?
Well, Emily, victims...
In other news, bosses at Derby and Burton hospitals say they have scope to increase intensive care beds further if the pressures of the COVID crisis continue to intensify. Well, that's all from the lunchtime team. I'll be back for East Midlands today at 6:30. Hello and welcome to Thursday's East Midlands Today with me, Emily Anderson. Good evening. First tonight, it's been a day of clearing up and counting the cost for many after flooding affected large parts of Derbyshire. There are still more than 30 flood warnings in place. New flood defences in Derby have been put on hand to help, but a number of homes in Bakewell have been affected. Well, Simon Hare has spent the day tracking the floodwater and those left in its wake. Well, the storm has taken its toll in other parts of the region too. This is the A617 at Next tonight, domestic abuse charities say the pandemic has prompted a surge in calls for help. Support groups in Nottinghamshire say lockdown has trapped many women with abusive partners. Well, today they've joined forces to ask for more help from the government. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports. You're watching East Midlands Today. Now, more than half of people aged over 80 in the East Midlands have had their first dose of a COVID-19 vaccination. That's according to new figures out tonight. But they reveal significant differences in the progress that's been made. Nottingham and Nottinghamshire show one of the lowest percentage of jabs done so far in England in that age group. Our health correspondent Rob Sissons joins me now. Rob, something of a mixed picture there.
Yes, Emily. I mean, getting on for half to go, so still a big mission ahead.
Yeah, clearly. So do we know the reasons for this?
Well...
Thanks, Rob. Stay with us because we'll have a bit more of a chat in just a moment. But first, this week we've been hearing from staff at the Royal Derby Hospital. The feeling there is that coronavirus cases, where people need to stay in hospital, have yet to peak. Now, the sister of Derby's high dependency unit is Amy Campbell, who says this latest wave feels different. Rob, really powerful to hear from people on the front line on what really is a marathon for them, isn't it? Next tonight, a nurse from Nottingham has been given a surprise award for the outstanding care she gave a little boy who had sepsis. William Reckless underwent amputations on his legs and fingers to save his life. Nurse Laura Bennett saw him through an incredibly difficult, life-changing journey.
William.
Well, congratulations, Laura, and good to see William doing so well. Next tonight, a school in Derby has begun offering lessons on Saturdays in a bid to help students who've fallen behind on their work while schools are closed. More than 100 children at the Bemrose School have been invited to take part in the classes, both online and in person. Jodie Law reports. Now it's time to meet a science superstar. Professor Christopher Jackson is a geologist and an adventurer, originally from Derby. Last month he became the first black academic to present a prestigious lecture series. He's also been seen on TV abseiling into an active volcano. But his love of the natural world began with childhood trips to the Peak District, as he's been telling Naftaz Johal.
We'll see what they're like.
Now, ever since the very first lockdown, we've borne witness to a surge in community spirit, from helping those who've had to shield to opening up community food hubs. And at the heart of every community, unsung heroes doing what they can to help others. Well, tonight we celebrate just a few of them in Make a Difference. Here's Sarah. Anna, thank you. Well, that's all from East Midlands Today. Elise is back for the late news at 10:30. I hope you can join us. Until then, have a lovely evening. Good night.